I record this. Guys, we'll start with how we get data, where data gets stored, what is the form of the data stages, and how this data is used for data science. This is what we'll do, something very practically today. So let me start with here. I go to a website. I write here yatra.com. Okay. So guys, in Yatra, there are so many business segments they have. They have a flights, they have a hotel, they have a villas and stays, buses, holidays, cabs, and more. They have trains, freight, adventures, they have insurance, activities, monument, explore, and privy. So these are the different segments which you have in Yatra. Now let's talk about Yatra as a flight segment. What happens when you go to the flight segment? You go for clicking on one way or round trip. Let's say one way. You're saying that I want to travel from Bangalore. I want to go to Bhubaneswar. You select the date when you want to travel. I travel on 11th March. You choose the travel type is one traveler and having economic. Choosing your non-stop flights and search the flight. Whenever you're taking on this part, you yourself is creating this data online to the database. Now you're coming here, you select this flight along with is given the flight name, the departure time to the arrival time, the duration of this flight, the flight cost is given. You see the fare and you go for booking this. Now it's saying that when you go for booking fare, it is showing that these are the services they're going to give you. Just in case you want to go with meals, then definitely you can book for 6,050. It if you're going by this as a fixed plus. If you go for saver fare, which is the price is coming like this. Now you decided that I'll go with the food meal. I said book. The moment I say book, it's saying that the flight name, flight number, the Airbus number, departure time, the terminal name from where you want to start, and what is the duration of the flight. If you have taken any free meals or something, along with that is given that Bhubaneswar, this arrival place, along with what is the terminal in Bhubaneswar. Then it shows right side the base fare, the fee surcharge, total fare, add-ons, and you go for making the payment. If you're using any such promo code, you say apply, and finally you give your details here. You put your mobile phone, you give your title as Mr. Write it here called Devendra and call Das. You are giving all these informations online. After this, you go to proceed to make the payment. Yes, risk my travel. The moment I go here, it's asking where you want to make the payment. I want to make the payment from my net banking. I choose ICICI Bank. I click on payment. Now it's saying that change the promo code. It's saying this promo code is not applicable. Just go for this is what applied and go for making the payment. Okay, something going on Yatra website. So let's forget about any promo and simply go and make the payment. Okay, I go for net banking. Okay, so guys, what is happening here when you're trying to book the ticket from Yatra website, you're going to do online everything here. Now, let me tell you what is happening in the back end. In the back end, something is happening like this. The first step where you're saying you're going to Yatra, it has different segments. You go to flight segment. Second, in the flight segment, when you select flight, you select the trip type is one way, depart from New Delhi, going to Mumbai, date of travel you're giving, booking date you're giving, number of travelers you're writing, adults, how many adults are there, how many childs are there, how many infants are there, the flight mode, you're going for selecting the flight number, Airbus number, from to departure time, what is the duration of the flight. These all information is captured online, guys, right? Now, when this the information is being captured, it is being mapped to following department. There are certain information which is for marketing. It goes to the marketing department. There are certain information which is related to the finance department that goes to the finance. There are certain information is required for the customer relationship management that go to that department. Like that, your data is created in online. So guys, imagine In a day, can anyone tell me how many passengers are booking ticket through online using yatra.com? Any idea, guys?
Sir, almost 1 lakh.
So you are saying almost 1 lakh. Okay. So if you are saying 1 lakh in a day, right? In a month, how many tickets would be booked online?
30 lakhs. If 1
So,
lakh per day, we are taking the.
so you are saying 30 lakhs if it is 1 lakh. Do you think all tickets are booked out of 1 lakh?
No, some may be cancelled.
Right. So the conversion rate, let's say around 20 to 30%, which is 30,000 booked. Yes or no?
Yes.
Ultimately, you are
Yes.
generating how much data? 1 lakh data. 30. Now,
Connect.
in a year, how many record it will produce? If it is 30 lakhs. It
3
will
crore
produce what?
60 lakh.
3.6 crore. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Now, let's say I have this data for 5 years. How much data it will produce now? This has to multiply with 5, which is 18 crore records. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Right? So this data itself is huge. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Now, we need to understand first thing, how to manage this data. This is the first thing that you should know. Second thing, once you manage, how to analyze this data. Right? Third thing, once you analyze, how to present data, how to present analysis. Fourth thing, you'll be looking for what strategy you will go for strategy development. After you do all such presenting analysis, strategy development, then you will be taking decisions out of that. Post decision is taken, you will go for implementation. Any strategy happen towards automated actions. And that automated actions is called machine learning and AI. So everything starts from data. It ends with automated actions using ML and AI. The moment you go to yatra.com, you're trying to book the ticket, there's a timers will come through, right? Book the ticket within 9 minutes. So they will try to. Otherwise, you will also get a call saying that, sir, we can see you are coming to our payment gateway, but you're not making the payment. Can I help you out? Somebody will try to reach out. How do they get that information? How this trigger is being created? This is all through ML and AI. So guys, how the journey begins in Yatra, first thing, we go to yatra.com. We fill all the information online, which is called online transaction process, which is OLTP. It hits the backend database. It could be Oracle, it could be SQL, it could be DB2, it could be Teradata, it could be Informix, Sybase, so many databases in this world. It depends on the company, which database they can afford and which database in the backend they're using. It will all come through OLTP to hitting to the backend on the same day, just in time towards the database server. From this database server, we pull this data and map it to the finance department, the marketing department, the CRM department. Now, each of these data, when this data comes, it stores through ETL, extraction, transformations, and loading. It loads this data to the data warehouse. In this data warehouse, there are multiple staging mapping files, which is for finance, marketing, and CRM. Now, we use this data for the role of a data scientist to manage the data, to analyze the data, to do a predictions and actions for strategy development, then create automated actions using machine learning and artificial intelligence. This is how the journey would be defined for your success formula. Does it make sense, guys?
Yes, sir.
Right? Okay. Since you are aware of it, now let's do a small analysis. What we'll do here, I have some sample data from Yatra. I open an Excel file here. I call this as Yatra analysis. Okay. I open this Excel file here, guys. Is there any data here? Guys, do you
No.
see any data here? No.
No.
Completely. Guys, please go on mute. Okay. It's a completely blank database. And Excel is called as a grid because it is a combination of rows along with column,
Column.
right? but we do not have any value inside. Now the question comes to you, how we will get those values? Now let's do understand how to get those values. So how will get this data to the Excel environment? What I'll do here, I go to data. I'll teach you each and every process and just give a small demo kind of thing to open up your mind, guys. Now I have to get data. So I go to data tab. I choose here, get and transform data. In this, I'll go to get data. I choose the data I want to get from SQL Server. So in my system, I have a SQL Server, which is local database. I don't remember the database name, so I put dot, which will indicate and connect to me to the local database. I said, okay. It shows me all these SQL databases I have. In this database, there is a database which is called Yatra Daily Transaction Data. The moment I say load, what is happening here? In this Yatra Daily Transaction, there is a table. Okay, so what I'll do here, guys, I show you one more time. I go to this, I choose data, I go from the database, I press dot, it connects me to my database. If I go to database, I have a table which is called Yatra Daily Transaction Data. I say load my data here. This is how my data comes. So I say delete this. So this is all my Yatra transaction data. Now this data is in database server where I connected my Excel to get the data. Now the data is how many records are there? Only 7,000 records, 7,533. And what we discussed, Yatra, if you look for the yearly data, which is coming in crores. So we cannot manage that in Excel, but I'm just giving a small example here, how to manage small data. Now, this data is showing the order ID, the customer ID, the customer name, which segment this customer is coming from. Is it an individual customer or it is a corporate customer? Corporate means when the corporate people, they book the ticket. Individual means it is a consumer. What is the booking date? When the travel date is coming through. It's also saying that base location from where this ticket has been booked. Travel to which location? Now, what is the flight name? The flight fare, the discount rate, if there is any discount is given to the customer. What is the total fare and how much fare has been paid by the customer? These all information is coming from this data only. I really want to take this data to be analyzed to help business to identify what are the opportunities area in terms of retaining customer, engaging customer, and increasing the behavior of the customer towards more bookings. First of all, I get this data. I have the booking date is given. I got to derive here 3 more fields, column 1, column 2, and column 3, right? So this is what I want to write here called booking underscore year. I want to create a new field, which is called booking underscore month. I want to go for new, which is going to be booking underscore year month field. So first of all, booking year, how will I get it? I use a function called year in Excel to retrieve the year from the date field. I select this completely, do a format cell. I make it here as a number. Same way, I go for booking month. I use a function called text of this into MMM. It is going to convert that into booking month. I go to booking year month. I say year of the booking date should be multiplied with 100 plus month of this booking date. So I get the booking year month is given here. 2019 07, 2019 05, when the booking happened. If I look closely here, by making a filter, it is all booking happened from 2019 January till December, last 12 months booking. Fantastic. So guys, I got this data for myself. What I'll do here, first, since I have created my data, I don't want to create this into Power Query form. I just take it to another Excel file. I said pay spatial and the values. So I got my data here completely. Then I do a format cell, making to. Okay. So guys, this is what the data I need to take and do some analysis out of it. Okay. So what comes to my mind first? So I take it as my raw data. Next, what I'll do here, I'll go for doing a pivot table from this data. What this pivot table is all about here, that I want to get each customer wise, right? The number of travelers. So I take customer ID and the count of customer, the number of times they have traveled. They travel with number of travelers, and I want to check that what is the total fare has been paid by the customer. I took this. So this is called rename, called summarized data. So I did a summarization within the data. Now I take this data to the next step of it. I copy this data, I go to another sheet where I paste it. I paste it by customer ID. I take it here, total visits. I go for making here total trips. I'm making here spend, how much they spend. These are the major summarized field which I created from this data. This is where I'll start my analysis. So how will I think about analyzing the data? The first thing is that I have this spend, right? I go for creating something called spend per visit. This is something called a calculative field. What is spend per visit? The spend divided by number of visits. So this is the average spend per visit this customer is doing, right? So this is called visits, and this is called passenger, sorry, right? Spend per passenger. How will you get the spend per passenger? I take it here, the total spend divided by number of passengers. Right click to a format cell, try to make it as a number with 0 decimal values. Now I have these 3 numeric fields which I have it. So I make it here, format cell into a currency format. So this is what the spend, this is what is given as spend per visit. This is called spend per passenger. Guys, I really want to ask you, think logically, how this data can be useful to identify who are the best customer. What comes to your mind, guys? Give me 3 to 4 points. I really want to make it more interactive here. Guys, how will you find out any customer here who are very good customer? How will you find out?
Spend per visit is more.
Spend per visit is more. Very good.
Spend per passenger is more. That is also.
Okay. Then what else?
Sir, we can also say that the person who visit more in a year is a good
Very
valuable
nice.
customer for us.
What's your name? What's your name?
Yes, sir.
What's your
My
name?
name is Bhupit.
Bhupit. And before Bhupit, somebody answered. What's
So
your name?
Bhupit.
Yeah, Bhupit. Before you, somebody also
Oh.
answered. What's your name?
Yeah.
Umang.
Umang. Guys, you're very right. Both of you are very right. Now, let me tell you how we can think about it. I do one thing. I put something called average spend. I put something called average spend per visit. I also put something called average spend per passenger. Right? If I select this, what is the average spend, guys, coming here? What is the average spend is coming? Can you see below here?
As average spend, sir, we add all and divide it by the number of.
No, that's okay. I'm getting this directly average spend here at the below. Can you see my screen, guys? Can you see my cursor?
Yes, sir.
How much is coming here?
Yes, sir.
How much is coming? The average spend.
Where is the
3948, sir.
So you are
3948.
606, sir.
30,948. Perfect.
Okay.
What is the average spend per visit is coming, guys?
6478.
6478. And what is the per passenger average spend is coming?
4179.
4179. Very nice. Right, guys? Right?
Yes.
I select this all. I make it here format cell to a currency format with 0 decimal values. I don't know what is wrong. Why is not taking the currency format? We'll discuss that later. So now, guys, you got these informations here, right? Now, what I'll do here, I'll create here spend indicator. I'll make here visit or spend per visit indicator. I'll also make it here spend per passenger indicator. What I'm saying here, I'll give a condition. If this customer spend is greater or equal to the average spend, I'll call them as a premier customer. Else, I will call them as non-premier customer. So I got who are the premier, who are the non-premier easily. Same thing, I put it here. If my visit spend per visit is greater or equal to average spend per visit, we call this as premier. Else, we call this as non-premier. Spend per passenger indicator, I'm saying equals, and if the spend per visit is greater or equal to average spend per passenger is going to be premier. Else is going to be non-premier. So guys, I just took these 3 parameters and I got these informations here. Are you getting this, guys? Guys, are you
Yes,
getting
sir.
this? Now, I took this 3 segmentation properly. I go here, I make it pay special values. I want to make it as a unique combination. I select this all. I go to data and I say remove duplicates. So in this case, guys, I create something called customer segment. So I want to define my customer segment in 3 parts. One is called premier. One is called advance. One is called retail. So the best customer is called premier, and the second best is advanced, third best is retail customer. So tell me, guys, if it is non-premier, 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 all 3 segments, what do you call them as?
Retail.
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 If it is premier, 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 what do you call them as?
Premier.
Premier.
Premier. Very good. If it is non-premier by spend, but premier, premier by this, what do you call them as?
Advance.
Advance. If it is premier and premier, but this is non-premier, what do you call them as?
Advance.
Still will call premier because the spend indicator is more. That means a premier customer, right?
Okay.
Spend indicator is very important, right, guys?
Okay.
If it is non-premier, premier, and non-premier, what do you call them as?
I think
Retail.
retail.
It is retail. Very nice. Non-premier, non-premier, premier, what do you call them as?
Retail.
Retail.
If it is premier, non-premier, non-premier, what do you call them as?
Advance.
Advance.
Very good. If it is premier, non-premier, and premier, what do you call them as?
Advance.
Premier.
Premier.
Okay,
At least
premier.
spend is premier. Understood?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, this combination which you got it, you create this as a unique value, which is going to be this ampersand this and ampersand this, because I want to get as a unique combination to this here. Now, this unique combination, I want to add this data saying that customer segment. How will you do this? In Excel, we go for VLOOKUP. The lookup value is going to this, ampersand this, ampersand this. Based on this, if you go for these two columns, you can easily find what is the customer segmentation. Right? Right, guys? So now what you are indicating here, let me show you. If you go to view and make it as a freeze, you're saying this customer ID. What is the segmentation? You can easily get it. Who are the premier? Who are the advanced? Who are the retail customers? Yes or no, guys?
Yes, sir.
Right. So now what we will do here, I will go to the raw data. Now in this raw data, I will add something called customer segment. In this customer segment, I make a VLOOKUP. The lookup value is to your customer ID. Over what? Over this table. Going to this column M, which is the 13 column and it's a 0. I'll explain what is this functions, formulas, everything, guys. So now you easily got your customer segmentation, which has been derived from your data analysis. Soon after you go for getting this data with the customer segmentation, you got to make this analysis to be presentable to the business. How will you go for presenting to the business? You are selecting this data and going for creating a summary analysis one more time. Taking by customer segmentation, right? You take your premier customer into top. You take customer ID as a count here. You take the customer as a count, their number of trips, and the total amount has been paid off, right? So guys, this is what the information which you gather from the data. How will you present this to the business? You say, so value as percentage of the column total. It shows that what percentage of customer you have premier. How many times they're visiting? If you say so value as percentage of the column total. You say, so whereas percentage of the column total. Selecting this all, I do a format cell with 0 decimal values. Now it indicates that your premier customers are giving you, you have total 41% premier customers. They visit almost 49% of the entire customer passengers visit, and they contribute to the revenue is by 53%. How would you like to present this data? You select this data and go for presenting this way. So that means your business is really doing good in terms of premier and retail, not by advance. Yes or no, guys? So you call this as my subscribers.
Yes, sir.
You call this as my passengers. You call this as my spend or my revenue. Okay, guys. Now, how would you like to present this to the business? You are presenting this way so that business can ask you what is the next step. Now you need to do further drill down analysis about your customer behavior using some kind of statistical inference. You're going to use predictive modeling, you're going to use advanced analytics or ML techniques to understand this customer behavior pattern. To tell business what is happening. This the overall figure is coming from the data. Now, to showcase this, we can also do another way to look at the trend over here. I really want to see how over months, if I look for my booking months, by booking month wise, I want to see the customer ID and I want to make a slicer based on my customer segmentation, as well as my flight name. Do you see somewhere the flight name is coming? Yes. Now, what I'm doing here, I select this data over Jan to December. I want to see the performance over trend. Soon after I take this trend over here, I want to see how they're behaving over time. Right? So this is called base of customer, which I have it. Now tell me guys, if I look for premier customer, if I look for my advanced customer, if I look for retail customer, what is happening here? Is going like this. The premier customer, the behavior is not going very straight. It is going through lots of seasonality in the data, sometimes growing, sometimes declining. That means my strategy is not in place to retain back my premier customer. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
If I look for this premier customer behavior by Air India, it shows that it was going down, but last 3 months it's growing. If I look by Air India Express, it was going down. Suddenly it has fallen down, but that's okay, manageable. Air Asia was going down, up. Go Air is going down. It is going down, down, down. Then it got peak over here. Then again,
There will be a downfall.
then going for SpiceJet. This is going for your Vistara. Can you see
Vistara.
this? How about the treatment for retail? How about the treatment for advance? You can take a quick decisions based on this data. Yes or no, guys?
Yes, sir.
Right? So this is called my trend analysis. This is called my segmentation analysis.
So can I ask something?
Yes, please go ahead. What's your name?
Okay. Sir, my name is Bhupit.
Bhupit. Yeah, ask me.
Sir, we see the data, there are some downfalls and some up in the business. So we have to plan the strategy also to improve something.
That is what I'm coming. That is what we'll say.
Okay.
This is the
Okay.
overall figure which is sort of business, what is happening. Now
Okay.
business will ask you, hey, you are a data scientist, tell me, what should I do? Now the
Yes.
role is all about strategy development. We'll talk about strategy development. We'll go for strategy development. Guys, tell me, why do we go for strategy development?
Because we want to increase the growth for the company. We want to
Right.
give the better options for the company. So
I want to ask few words. Somebody says growth for the company. Very nice quote. Growth for the company. Anything else, guys? Why we need to go for strategy? Tell me second word.
Marketing and targeting customers.
Marketing and targeting customer. Okay. What else?
प्रॉपर फंड्स यूटिलाइजेशन जहाँ पे
Proper,
मतलब जहाँ पे हमें
fund,
यूटिलाइज कर
proper fund utilization, and
Yes,
it's
sir.
called good ROI, return on investment, right?
yes sir
What else?
Areas of
Any
improvement could be identified.
sir,
improvement. Okay, very
sir,
good.
what was the problem? So that's why people are not coming to us. If they are seeing the fair is and everything is good, why they are not approaching us for the booking?
So you are saying to customer analytics, right?
Yeah, right.
What else?
What was the weak point?
What is the competitive analysis? Competition, right? You
Okay.
mean this,
Right, sir.
right? So you guys are rightly said. What is the user strategy development? Now I want to use this into 4 parts. So I'll say part 1, part 2, part 3, and part 4. Within this part 4, I'll explain everything. So guys, we do this strategy development for, first thing is customer acquisition. Are you getting it? How to acquire customer when my competitors are there. Second is customer retention. They should not leave me. They should come and book the ticket from my website only. Then we look for customer engagement program. So how my customer should retain with me and book the ticket time and again. Try to identify. Guys, please go on mute. Guys, please go on mute. We look for the customer engagement program. How to engage customer more often so that the customer should not leave me. Then how to increase the buying behavior of customer. How will you increase the buying behavior of the customer? You need to understand when the customer is traveling, when the customer is not traveling. Give them some kind of discounts, promos. You might have seen in Yatra, they were giving something called promo codes, right? Yes or no, guys?
Right,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Right. So these all we are doing for what?
To attract the customer.
Profitability on investment. and survivals. Are you getting it, guys? Use these kind of jargons that make more sense. Everything is required for one thing: revenue, profitability. For that, we need to engage these are the strategy. So being a data scientist, this is called data scientist target. So what we will do, we will access data. So we have a data-driven task. What is data-driven task? In a jargon, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Data access. How to manage a big data. Data manage. Once you access, how to go for data manage. How to do data analysis towards both descriptive and prescriptive using automated actions. Third one is strategy and presentations. Once you make the strategy, how will you go for presenting business? What should be done further? When we should give promos? Whom should we target? How should we reach the customer behavior? How will you understand before customer buying the ticket, you are aware the customer is going to book the ticket by this time. Start targeting the customer. How will you understand the predictions? The predicting the customer behavior, and based on that, you're making a strategy from now itself. This is the role of a data-driven task of a data scientist. Does it make sense, guys?
Yes, sir.
Right? So guys, this is what we are going to head now. I just give a simple GAN. I did not use any statistics. We will learn about statistics in the phase 3, which is all about month 3. But month 1, month 2 is all about database management, reporting, visualizations. Then we'll go for strategy development from month 3 class. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So what is very important now, guys, we will start with our day 1 Excel class. Now, how the class is going to start, guys? The class will start with in Excel. There in the month 1, we are targeting complete Excel, VBA, SQL, and Python. Trust me, guys, we'll finish everything in 1 month. Coming back to each and every folder, you will have sessions. Each session will contain your contents, raw data, manipulations, analysis, output. You will have your assignments, and whatever class is going on is going to store into the class videos here. This is going to upload it to our website where you can go to dvanalyticsmds.com. You will go to the student corner. You will click on the batches. You select your respective batches, and you will get your folder by tools along with all the informations. The video of the class, the data, everything is being stored here, which you will get access over here as well as Google Classroom. Okay. So now we will start with session 1. Before we go to session 1, I know, guys, we took almost 50 minutes to discuss about it. We'll take a 10 minutes break. We'll have a class at 6 o'clock. Sorry, 7 o'clock. Is it fine?
Yes, sir.
10 minutes break to everyone, guys. I just pause my for resume recording. So before we start Excel class, guys, let me take you through the Excel contents, which you will be targeting today to complete. Okay. I think I have shared that with you, or I haven't shared that with you guys. Have I shared that with you? Okay. So before going to the next, let me tell you guys, we understood how we get data, where data gets stored. We also spoke about what is the form of data stages. We discussed about how data is used for data science. The next part is we spoke about here the journey. Let's have a quick understanding. We spoke about yatra.com. Yatra has different segments. We spoke about only flight as a segment. In flight, we started with understanding whether it is an individual or by corporate, we are booking the ticket. Personal means individual, official means corporate. We spoke about how to go for getting data through one way, deciding depart from, departure to, date of travel, number of travelers, and search the flight. You decide which flight you want to book, you book the ticket, go ahead and looking for what is the total pay you want to make in, you understand what is the details you want to give it here as a contact details. You give it here the flight details. You select here all details, which is your first name, last name, email IDs, which you connected through, and go for making your GST number because you're working through corporate and filling out all the information which is required for. Then you decide how to make the payment. You selected ICICI Bank. You go ahead and fill your information towards payment. How this data is being stored in the backend, it has three segments. One is called flight segment data, one is called contact details of the customer and the fare details. Now this data is being gathered from online. Yes or no, guys? Guys, right. Now this data is being stored into this format. Now this is how you generate data every seconds through online, and that online process is called OLTP, online transaction process. You go through the website, when you fill your information, it is happening on the same time, going through OLTP, it is hitting to the backend database server. The database server, it could be Oracle, SQL, DB2, Teradata, anything else. It connected through extraction, transformation, loading to the data warehouse. In data warehouse, your different staging table from metadata to the summary data to the raw data. The data is being stored into different data marts: marketing, sales, customer relationship management, or finance data mart. Now, this data is being accessed by a data scientist. Towards what? Analyzing data. What is happening? Why it is happening? When did it happen? How did it happen? It's all about data analysis. Then you go for presenting this analysis into a storytelling dashboard. Then you're going to infer the data about customer behavior towards strategy development using data mining, where you talk about predictive modeling, machine learning, and artificial. It all comes under data mining skills. This is how your journey has been defined for Yatra, an example. Why do we do this? Because we want to acquire customer. We want to retain customer, looking at the segmentation. We go for making further strategy towards promotions, campaigns, offers, towards customer engagement, towards the profitability. So this is what is required for what? Being a data scientist into yatra.com, your responsibility is going to find like this way. Are you getting this, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right? So we will be starting now we save this, I close it here. We'll go to start with your Excel base and advanced class. I'll explain you one by one what is going to happen, guys, now. We will start your Excel journey. Right, guys? So how we'll start with the Excel journey? First, we need to understand how to learn Excel toward database management, how to use data analysis using Excel formula and functions, how to summarizing data using pivot table, how to create analysis to be presented using Excel dashboards, how to infer data using Excel advanced analytics. That will start here. How data gets generated. I just spoke an example here about yatra.com. Imagine you're talking about Reliance Fresh or Big Bazaar or Staple, whoever is into retail business. How do they generate data? They're from the billing counter when customer purchase things and coming for the billing. In telecom, when you make calls, the call hits to nearest tower, that is called BTS. From there is an intelligence network, which is storing this data. Where did you make call, STD, ISD calls, how many minutes you make call, how much data you're consuming, everything is stored through intelligence network in telecom. Or sometimes data is being stored by manually somebody's taking this information, like you are applying for a mobile phone, or you're applying for a mobile connection, you're applying for a bank loan, you fill out this customer application form, somebody's taking this application form and storing this data to the backend is a data entry. This is how we generate data. Data goes and stored into backend database. It could be Oracle, it could be SQL, it could be any database server in this world. We connect this data to Excel to do the data analysis, manipulations towards creating the inferential reporting where business can take decisions. Next, how the reporting architect in Excel happens, you will learn about how to get data from different database server. You'll learn about how to get data from a flat files. The flat file could be a CSV file, could be an Excel file, could be a text file. You'll learn how to connect this data to an Excel file. You learn how to, once you connect, how will you analyze this data towards a reporting and visualizations. This is how the journey of Excel has been defined. We have 6 sessions: session 1, session 2, session 3, session 4, session 5, session 6, which is all about industry projects. The moment you reach to session 6, you will do telecom industry project, banking credit risk project, retail marketing project, insurance project. If you're doing this project using your Excel, you are very strong enough to tell my experience, or whatever I have a gap, whatever I have a experience, which is non-data science, you can easily correlate because you're doing real-time industry project to understand how things happen. Now you can go and guide others. Soon after this, we'll learn about Excel Advanced Analytics, where we'll learn how we can use Excel for a predictive modeling or advanced analytics. There, we start learning with basic statistics to the inference statistics using probability and distributions, hypothesis testing. We'll talk about ANOVA. We'll talk about regression model. We'll talk about correlation regression and time series forecasting using Excel. The moment you have this knowledge in Excel, you can feel like this is the first foundation of my data science has been finished. Now I will learn about the challenges of the data, which Excel cannot manage, towards Python, towards SAS, towards R. That would be the next step. Visualizations, Excel cannot manage. We can do that in Tableau, Power BI, ClickView, ClickSense kind of tool. This is all going to happen, guys. First learn DBMS, learn visualization, then learn advanced analytics. I'm taking class better. Right, guys? So this is the plan that we are going to have in Excel class. Clear to everyone, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now the next thing will start with session 1. If you go to session 1, we have session 1 contents, which is given here. Okay. So we will be finishing this in the session 1. We'll start with the Excel journey. We'll talk about different versions of Excel. We'll talk about Excel cell reference and what is called range. We'll talk about Excel data types, what is dimension, what is measures, how to sort data, how to filter data, how to remove duplicates, doing data validations, what is called format cell, how to use conditional formatting. And the last one I want to add it here, what is called expressions. We will start now. Let's go here. Guys, do you think you're getting too much information day 1?
No, sir. Okay.
Everyone is fine? We will continue now.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So I take this session 1 data. I go to my manipulation where I'll save it and we'll do it here, the session 1. Let me open this. We'll go one by one. Guys, remember one thing before we start to Excel. Okay. If you go and right click and create your Excel, right? I call this as day 1, just the Excel workbook name. I give it here, day 1. Can you tell me what is the size of the file is coming default size?
7 KB.
7
7
KB.
KB, sir.
And do you know what is the maximum data size we can manage in Excel? It depends on the memory. If your Excel, if your system is 16 GB RAM, if your system is 8 GB RAM, if your system is 4 GB RAM, your functionality would not be same. 16 GB RAM is going faster as compared to 4 GB RAM. Yes or no, guys?
Yes, sir.
Same way,
Yes, sir.
when you keep data in Excel, it can increase the data based on the memory of the system. It depends on memory. Make that completely clear from today. Is it clear? Guys, is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anybody who is going to ask you what is the maximum size of the Excel, you will say it depends on the memory. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Now
Yes.
we'll start with the day 1 class, session 1. Let me show you guys what is going to be. So first of all, we'll understand what are the MS Office component. Whenever we are going to install our operating system. Then the next is MS Office. Now, when you say MS Office, this is all about Microsoft Office. It has many components, but being a data scientist, we have to be familiar with these 5 components. One is MS Word, which is Microsoft Word. Second one is MS Excel, which is Microsoft Excel. We have to be familiar with MS Access, which is called your MS Access for Relational Database Management System. You'll have MS PowerPoint, where you learn about how to go for presenting data using a PowerPoint presentation. Then you learn about MS Outlook, where you will learn about once you do things in Excel, once you do things in your MS Microsoft environment, how do you go for sending that through mail using Outlook. So now guys, Word is for what? The purpose for Word is documentation. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
MS Word is for what? It is called database management system and reporting. MS Access is called relational database management system, which we call RDBMS. Does it make sense? Guys, does it make sense? MS PowerPoint is for what? Presentation. MS Outlook is for what? Mail exchange. Is this clear? Is it
Yes,
clear to everyone, guys? What are the purpose of these are the MS Office components? But there are 28 components in MS Office. MS Visio, so many things are there, MS Publish, so many things are there. But being a data scientist or data analyst, we have to be familiar to these 5. Now, sometimes if you appear for the interview, they're saying that, tell me, what are the MS Office tools you're using or components you're using? You'll say, we use MS Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Access, and Outlook. That person will understand, okay, you are from MS, Microsoft Office expert candidate. Now we'll talk about different versions of Excel. Now, the class which we'll do here, it is mostly on your this part. MS Excel has DBMS and reporting tool. Now, understand what are the different Excel versions. So guys, there are different versions of Excel came in. It was 97, 2003 Excel came. It came with 2007 Excel. It came with 2010 Excel. It came with 2013 Excel. It came with 2016 Excel. It came with 2019 Excel. Now it is also using Office 365. Now these two are the most latest version of MS Office which are using. Are you getting this, guys?
Yes, sir.
Now, what was the difference in terms of number of columns, number of rows, and the file extensions? That is very important to know. Now we'll talk about here. The number of columns in 97, 2003 was in Excel, 256 columns were there. Number of rows was 65,000 rows were there. Extents of the file was .xls, which is the older version of Excel. When it comes to 2007, the columns become 16,384. The rows becomes 10,48,576 rows. The file extension become .xlsx. Since that till date, having this is the capability. But every version of the Excel, they added some new features. Those new features you will not be able to compare today because you might be using the latest version of Excel. We'll talk about all new things in Excel, which was not there in the earlier part. We'll discuss that in very practical environment. Now understand Excel rows and columns. So guys, if you write a 1 here and copy this 1, go to the cell A1, Control Shift right arrow and paste. In the below it says the count is what? 16,384. Are you getting this, guys? Guys, are you getting this here?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
How many columns are there? Like A, B, C, D, like this. How many columns are there, guys? What did you see here? 16,384,
16,384.
which is ending with what? XFD. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So we call this as 16,384 columns. How many rows you will know? Control C, copy this, Control Shift down arrow and paste it. When you paste it, it's showing how many records are there, rows are there.
10,48,576.
1,04,008.
So the number of rows are coming to 10,48,576 rows. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Now you are
Yes, sir.
confirmed. You are confirmed that we are using that Excel has we having a capability of what? 1 million records only. Imagine we are dealing with Yatra. It has crores of records. Can you manage that in Excel?
No.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Excel is good for reporting, not for database management. If it is huge data, it can manage data up to 1 million records. Is that clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Very good.
Yes.
Now we'll go to the next. We'll talk about table, we'll talk about data type, we'll talk about range. So guys, first understand. I created something called my student ID. I take student ID as 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 10 students. I wrote it here. I take my student name here, which I take it from here. Let's Umang, Akanksha, Aditya, Arjun. So I let it here. Umang, Akanksha, Aditya, Arjun, Chiranjeev, Satya, Nivedita, Ratish. Guys, somebody has joined with Redmi. What's your name?
Ranjana.
Sorry, Ranjana, right? Okay.
Yes.
So I take it here, Ranjana. Then I go to take the name as Mohit. Okay. I put the gender information here, which is going to be a male. This is female. This is male. This is male. This is male. This is male. This is female. This is male. This is female. And this is male. I put their education details, let's say, or I put their age first. I don't want to be biased, so I say random between, taking the age between 20 to 30. 20 to 30 is a random number. I took it here. I say Control C, do a paste special and values, because I don't want to show this formula to anyone. Then I take their education. Let's say few of them have done BTech. I take here somebody has done BSc. Somebody has done BCom. Somebody has done MTech. Somebody has done MBA, like that. The date of inquiry, which they did here. The date of inquiry, which happens, let's say, 1st February 2021. Great. Now, if they have any years of experience, which is given as this guy is having 5 years of experience, this is having 6 years of experience, is having 4 years of experience, this is having 3 years of experience, this is having 5 years of experience, this is having 1 year of experience, 0 experience, it is having 2 years, 4 years, this is having 2 years, this is having 3 years, this is having 5 years. The course they wanted opted for, is going to be data science. So guys, understand, this is what I created my data. The first line itself, it becomes as my header. I need to understand the cell reference from this data. What is cell reference? It started from A1. So starting cell reference, which is starting from A1, column A, row 1. Now ending cell reference. What is the ending cell reference is coming? H11, which is this. Now what is the range for you here? The range is going to be A1 to H11. How will you give a range name? You select this range and go to the corner, give this student underscore name as enter. Now the range name is what? The moment you select range name, student name is going to select this range. This is called student underscore name. Are you getting this? Same way, what's the table name in this case? Definitely the same. Student name is your table name. Now, number of fields or columns. How many columns are there, guys?
11 columns, sir.
8 columns are there.
12.
8 columns are there.
Sorry, sir. 8.
Yes, sir.
Number of records. How many records are there? How many
10.
records are there?
10 records. 10 records.
Right? Now, number of character fields. How many character fields are there? 1, 2,
3, 4, sir.
3, 4. There are 4 columns. Who are they? Student name, gender, education, and the course. Now, number of numeric fields. How many numeric fields are there, guys? 4. Student ID, age, date of inquiry, year of experience. You might be thinking, why did you consider date of inquiry as a date field? Because date field itself is a numeric field. I'll talk about that. Right? Now, this is how you understand about the table. There is something called note. If character values comes, it is always left aligned. What does it mean? So when you have a cell, you write A, it's a character which is left aligned. You will also, you'll go for doing this here, numeric values. It is always right aligned. So if I write 1, what is happening? It is right aligned and this is left aligned. Does it make sense?
Yes, sir.
Understood, guys? You write A here and you write 10 here. You can see the difference. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Right. So this is how we define the data, identifying the cell starting cell to the ending cell, the range name, table name, number of columns, number of numeric columns, number of character columns, number of records we have within the table. Does it make sense to everyone, guys? Does it make sense?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, Excel journey, guys. What happens? We have, this is called Excel journey. When we say session 1, is a workbook. Inside session 1, these are the sheets. So the Excel journey starts with what? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. First is Excel workbook. Then Excel worksheet. Then cell reference. Then range name. 6 is table. 7 is what? Table with columns and rows with Values. Now values are what? Two types. Either it can be character value or it can be numeric value. Is this clear now? Are you getting this,
Yes,
guys?
sir.
So alphanumeric is a part of character only. Date time is a part of numeric only. Example, if you write S1, it is alphanumeric, left align. If you say 0101 2021, it is a numeric, which is right align. Does it make sense, guys?
Yes.
Yes,
This is
sir.
all about your journey in Excel. Next is a test. If you guys understood, tell me, this data starts from where?
Customer ID A1,
A1.
A1.
It goes till what?
H5113.
Day 5115. Now, your starting cell is what? Tell me.
A1.
A1,
A1. Your ending cell is what?
H5113.
H5113. Right? What is the range?
A1 to H511.
H1 to H5113. Very good. Okay. Now you have a range name. What you can do here? Select this data and go to the corner called made_Australia. So if you select your range name, is showing only data selection? Yes or no? If you select it here for student name, is go to this range. If you select this, it comes to this range. Yes or no?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
So what is the range name? Made Australia. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What's the table name? Same?
Made_Australia.
Right. Okay. Tell me number of columns in this table.
8.
8.
8.
Number of records.
5113.
5112.
22.
5112, excluding the header. Yes or no,
Yes.
guys? Number of character fields.
Three, sir.
3.
3.
What are those?
Company,
Company, gender,
state code.
Okay. Number of numeric fields.
5.
What are they? Customer ID. Press Control. Select one by one.
Page, number of
Does it make sense, guys?
streams.
Yes, sir.
Right. Now we'll understand dimensions versus measures. So guys, when this is the data which is given from Australia. In Australia, these are the pharmaceutical stores like Apollo, Cipla, Dr. Reddy's, Geno, GSK, Guardian, MedPlus, Ranbaxy, and Religare is given. These are the customer ID which is uniquely given about the customer. The gender is given, whether they're male or female is given here. The date of birth of the customer is given and the age of this customer is given here. Which state code they're coming from? QLD for Queensland, NSW for New South Wales, West Australia, Victoria, South Australia, like this. It is given all the state codes. Number of times they visited, this is called number of trips, 4 times they visited. The spend amount, which is $69.37, which is spent by this customer. Now, this is the data is given to you guys. You need to understand dimensions and measures. Dimensions, when I say get company wise customer base. In this particular question, guys, there is a dimension field and there is a measure field also. So in this question, when you say company-wise customer base, it means the dimension field is company. Measure field is Major field is count of customer ID. Count is what? It's a major. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
When I say get company wise
Company.
spend, get company wise spend. What does it mean? What is the dimension field in this?
Company.
Company is the dimension. Very good. What is the measure in this case?
Spent amount.
Sum of spend amount, right?
Sum of.
Right.
Sum of spend amount. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Understood? So what is dimension? What is measure field?
Yes, sir.
Right? Now, if I say get state code wise total customers and their average age. If I ask a question like this, tell me in this question itself, what are the dimensions? What are the measures? What dimension
Number
field
of
in this case?
number of
State code.
State code.
State code. What are the major field?
state.
Customer count and average age.
So first is count of customer. Second major field is what?
Average
Average of
age.
yes or no?
Yes.
Did you understand the difference between dimension and measure, guys?
Yes, sir.
Now tell me in this particular table, how many dimension fields are there? Mostly all character values are dimensions. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So your company is a dimension table, dimension field. Gender is a dimension field because you want to see by company, by gender wise, what is the count of customer. So this is dimension. By age group, guys, please do not do this. It is disturbing me. Please. Whoever has done this, please don't do this again. Okay. So by company wise, by gender wise, by state code wise, give me the total number of trips, total number spent, average is, these are the dimensions versus measures. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Pakka?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now tell me state code wise total population. What is dimension in this?
State code.
State code.
State code.
Population is what? Measure, right? Okay.
Measure.
Measure.
So guys, we'll talk about format cell. I feel like guys, I can continue this, but I will stop here because I feel like, I personally feel that day one, I'm giving you lots of information. It has to go in a very systematic approach. So what I can do here, guys, I stop this class on the day one here itself. Whatever things are remaining, we'll do it in the next class, which is happening for your batch. Did I inform you when your class is going to happen, guys?
Tomorrow.
No, it is not
No,
happening
no.
tomorrow. Tomorrow, actually, I'm traveling to my hometown. So you guys are going to have this class this Saturday morning, 9 a.m. Is it
Okay.
clear?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, guys. But this Sunday, you don't have any class.
Okay.
You have only class on Saturday because Sunday I have my ritual for my grandmother passed away, so I have to be there. So for that, I'm not taking any class on Sunday. Only
Okay.
Saturday I'm taking class. Is that fine to all?
Okay, sir.
Okay, guys. So what I'll do here, guys, I'll go for stop recording.